Hey, y'all. Hey, and welcome to another episode of Theories and Thoughts podcast with your hostess, Anya. And
Fancy.
guess what, y'all? Today is Fancy's birthday, so we're going to celebrate. We're going to talk about that a little bit. She's going to show y'all her gifts. But until then,
Stay tuned.
and we're back. As I said, y'all, today is Fancy's birthday. Y'all know that's my girl. That's my dog. That is my boo thing. We might argue, we might fuss, but we ain't going nowhere. Just know that. Know that. Fancy, it's your birthday!
Okay. Thank y'all. Thank you, Sharona, because she said it. I've just really it does not feel like my birthday, y'all, because I've been so busy. And then I have midterms this week. But I have received like a lot of awesome gifts. On my Instagram, I shared over the weekend. I think possibly the best gift of all was that I actually got my daughter back after an 11-year custody battle. So I'm very excited about that. It wasn't even, planned like to go that way at that time, but I just think that that's possibly the biggest gift that I've received. But I also got some other gifts for my kids. I just, because they got me some yellow roses and I want to share them with you
Ooh, I
all.
love roses.
Because I don't really get flowers often. I don't really get gifts often, right? So then they also got me like a bag of goodies here. And then Jermel bought me this hat that he saw me post in my Instagram story. So look, y'all, posting in your Instagram stories is a good way to share gift ideas. And then it's like it was something else I got. I just, I got some money from my kids and my brother and just some friends. And so I got almost about $300. And I was like, okay, this is actually good. Like, this is not a normal birthday, but it's been nice. And I'm just grateful for all of it.
I said, oh, I forgot to send Fancy something. I've been so busy.
Girl, I ain't worried about it.
Listen, I was like, I didn't forgot. I didn't been busy. I was well, you had a beautiful weekend. I was so excited for you. Like I was cheering. I was like, oh my goodness. Because you didn't even tell me y'all was going to court.
Well, we were supposed to go to court in late September, and then since he agreed, like it was just basically like we didn't have to go to court anymore, but we still needed to sign paperwork and we had to like submit all of our financial statements and stuff. But we got it done. Like I'm just so it almost seems surreal, because this was almost one thing I thought I wouldn't be able to accomplish in life. And so to actually accomplish it and like, get her back, I'm like, it was 11 years lost, but at the same time, just choosing to focus on the future I'm just still amazed. I'm just still, in awe of God though.
And she's such a beautiful girl. Both of your girls are so beautiful. They're quiet and they just look at me. They just watch me, but they are so cute. But I am so excited about that for you and things to come. So don't give up, y'all. Don't give up when there's something that you desire. As I told Fancy, she had made this touching post and she said that she felt like she had failed as a mother. And I was like, I never looked at her like I always look at her as this mother because her daughter was always like whenever she talked about the rest of them, she talked about her as well. When she talked about the other two that was with her, so it's just you
But
know.
you know, the crazy, like a lot of people did not see it that way though, because when you tell people that at least in my mind, that's really, you know, and I've also had people kind of the reaction because it makes people kind of look at you like, well, what type of mother are you? You know, like they don't pay attention to, hey, she still got two other kids that she take care of solely alone. So it was, you know, it was a very like I guess you say a shameful thing for me. So it really is like a like putting down a bag almost. I think of the song Bag Lady, you know, and I'm just like, it's almost like that, putting it down for once and just kind of taking a break.
Right.
And
But
thank y'all for the birthday wishes in the comments. I don't want to hold up the time, but I greatly appreciate all of them.
so well this weekend I thought I was gonna relax, but I ended up in Austin helping a friend. I got back this morning, went to work, got my haircut. Y'all can't see the design this time because it's in the back. I got a cute.
It looks fresh.
I mean, I'm up here. I'm just being me. This
How
week is
far
a
is
better week.
Austin?
Austin is like 3 hours.
Oh, okay.
It's 3 hours. So I got back I dropped her off about 3:10. I was at my house about 3:35. I worked from home, so it all worked out. Oh,
Oh, that's good.
yeah, it worked out. So that's what I did this weekend. And I think that's it. You wanted to add anything about this weekend? Anything you did?
Oh well, look, because I'm like, you know, your weekends don't normally. I'm still waiting on the rest of the week, the rest of the events or something. I'm like, okay, then you supposed to be like, then I got up from my nap and I went to so and so and so. But
No.
so we like to celebrate, me and my daughter Haley went to Top Golf and we just kind of hung out there. And it really sucks if they put you on the bottom floor, just letting y'all know if you haven't ever been, because it's not the same as being on the top. I don't know, you know, like it's just, yeah. I did so well on the top one and then we got down there and it was like so yeah.
Did Dilly come?
No, she was studying.
Who was studying? Yeah, Fancy and her daughter are both college students.
Yeah, look, I was trying to study before we went in there, so yeah.
But nah, I actually I was laying down. What did I do Saturday? Did I do something Saturday? I don't remember. I think I laid down all Saturday. Look, let me go look at my phone. I really think I laid down Saturday.
You know,
Oh,
you might have, because I
I did
just
a walk.
remembered. You
I
what?
did the Nomney walk for mental health.
Oh,
I did that. And then I went to Arnitra's son's baseball game. Then I went by my friend Janae's house and then I went home. So I
okay.
did do stuff.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna be a good for events. And I see Sharona said bottom floor at Top Golf is pool. Laugh out loud. Yes, you're right, Sharona. And she was saying you did nothing on Saturday.
I did do something. I was in my bed by the time you called me. But I did do the Nomney walk with my friend. And with Monette. Monette was a guest in May for Mental Health Awareness Week month. So she works for Dallas Behavioral Health, and I sat at their table. We did a TikTok. I might put the TikTok on the Theories and Thoughts IG page. We did a TikTok dance. I've never done a TikTok. No, I did. I did one before, but it wasn't on TikTok. It was just the music, and I just did it.
Monet did it too. I mean, I want to see
Yeah,
this.
Monetta did it. Yeah, Monetta. Yeah, Monette did it.
Oh.
So, anywho, well, anywho, so this caught my attention. This week, last week, the end of last week to this week, Marquise Jackson, 50 Cent's son, said that what 50 at first he said what 50 was giving him was not enough for him to live off of. Then he said, I tell you what, I'll give it to you just so you can spend some time with me. And Zara, your thoughts, Fancy?
I think that is like the saddest situation ever. Seems like it to me. Of a father and son, you know. And a lot of people were kind of, because he said that he was getting what, 6,700 in, yeah, 6,700 in child support or something, or I
Mhm.
guess maybe is it child support, because he seemed too old to be getting child support.
He's too old to be child support, so that's an allowance that he's giving him.
Oh, okay. In New York City. But now I will say, if you saw those rates they were talking about, like how much it costs to rent places and stuff in New York, I could kind of understand that. But I mean, if he's old enough to be working, then and it's an allowance, then you supposed to make up the other half on your own. But I don't think it's about money with him though to begin with. It's just like really trying to get his attention. And I just don't I mean, I don't know, has the story ever came out like why they have such a toxic relationship? It has.
I was gonna bring that up. So years ago, Marquise went on a rampage talking about 50, how he don't do nothing, even though 50 was paying child support and everything. So I think the thing was 50 didn't get along with the mother. And the mother was talking crap. So he just was like, he's dead to me, because the son jumped on his mother's side and yeah, because this, that, and the third, and da da da. But I want to say 50 was supporting him then. It just wasn't what she wanted, how much she may have wanted, or what have you. So then 50 had his son with the Asian girl.
I don't know. I know who you're talking about, but I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, he had him and he was doing a lot of things with him. And he was like, so you doing things with him, but you're not doing anything with me. And I think that's just the biggest thing is, why do we know about it in social media? That's just one of the things that I wonder about whenever things happen like this. Like, why you bringing it to social media? If you wanted to talk to your father, you should have contacted your father, even when you was a child and you was going off on social media about your dad. People have to understand that you can't just go off on folks and think that people just gonna give you their money. I'm not obligated to give you my money. I don't care if I am your parent. I remember my mom, I used to think it was the most cruel thing ever. She used to tell me, I don't owe you nothing. You owe it to yourself to be the best that you can be. But as a woman now at 41, I recognize it is my it is up to me to be the best that I can be. Maybe, as a younger kid, I didn't understand it. But as I got older, I understood that she wasn't trying to be mean about it. It's the truth. She don't owe me nothing after 18, because after 18 you've given everything that you possibly can. And these kids these days, these 20s, something, a lot of them feel like you owe them.
Girl, that's for 420 nowadays, because the kids have so much, already, and it's like it's the social media and everything influencing them, so it's always something. So even just the thought of that, but I didn't know, like I've kind of heard the story before. It sounded like it once you started telling me, but I still think I don't. A part of me almost want to say I still don't believe it's about the money. But then the fact that before it has been mentioned about the money, I'm almost like, well, maybe it is. But I also think like things that he said when he was younger, I think, 50 as an adult should be able to see like a lot of that still may have not been, you know what I mean? Like that was a child speaking then. So I don't know. I just wish they'd get it together, go to counseling or something. All that money they got, like that's what they should be doing, making a therapy date or something.
Well, here's my question: even though it's a child, do it still not hurt?
Well, yeah, I'm certain it still hurts,
I
especially when
mean,
it's your child and and you're thinking that you're doing for them.
and
So
you're trying to, and sometimes the other parent is making it hard, and you wanting to, what I'm saying. And that's in some situations, it's not all, but from what I understood from the situation, she was making it hard. I mean, I don't know. I'm just like, why do we know about this? That's the same thing with the Eddie Murphy and Mel V. Why do we know that his child support went up? Why are people reporting that? Why is that public knowledge?
yeah, because I
People,
don't be into all of that.
right. And I'm just like, yes, he makes the money. So why do we care? This is not putting him out no type of way. She was working at the time, and then she wasn't working, and she don't make the money that she needs in order to take care of this kid. So a judge awarded her, more money. He didn't attest it. It didn't say all that. Why do we know these things? When did we get in society have to know everything about people. Like, I don't care to know that.
Yeah, and actually, just as I'm learning in my journalism class, well, one of my journalism classes, it talks about how the content that we share is supposed to benefit our audience in some way, and I'm just like, half of this stuff don't be benefiting us, we just it's just knowledge we can't do nothing with. But I guess maybe one day, hey, you be married to a millionaire or something, and then you be thinking, hey, well, so and so had got. But other than that, I don't know.
Maybe. What you was about to say?
I was about to go into our commercial. Were you ready?
I was just about to say it doesn't benefit. I think that it should benefit. I think that we need to go back to more entertainment. Entertainment, we don't have to know people's lives. They don't have to always clear up stuff. To me, if they did stuff, why they have to apologize to the public? They did it to somebody else. Why you apologizing to us? If they had a rant or something, oh, well, I apologize. Why? You had a rant with your wife or whatever. Why is it my business?
I can understand that.
That's all I'm saying. That's just where I'm at. I'm starting to get tired of all of those different things, and I just skip over it. I actually put underneath the Eddie Murphy thing. Why is this our business? I literally put that. Why is this our business? So you go to the commercial now.
Okay.
And we're back. Tonight, you guys, we have a special guest, Doctor. I love you.
Stop.
I love y'all. Let me tell y'all something. This is my friend, and I love when people that I know reach the upper echelons, honey. So it's gonna be Doctor. This whole
No,
broadcast.
it will not be. We're going back to regular degular from circa 98, 99, 2000 when we sat together in choir class. We're going to be how we used to be. Okay,
Oh my
that's how we're
gosh.
going to be. Happy birthday, Fancy. Anya, we're going to be regular. We're going to be regular.
Okay, yeah, this is
Thank
T
you.
White. This
Yes,
T White.
yes.
So tonight we have Shannon's gonna jump on when she can.
She will.
The owners of I don't
The
know.
legitimate.
Medical wig provider.
Thank you. I wrote it down, a little bit of it. So tell us about yourself, girl. Tell us about yourself, how y'all started, what made you do this. All that.
Okay, so I'm Tamara White. I've been a nurse for going on 18 years, doctorally prepared, registered nurse. My background is a mix of a variety of areas and specialties in nursing, and a lot of time in executive level leadership, which was important to this endeavor with Shannon and I, because I've done a lot of work with negotiating insurance contracts, and I really understand how to work with insurance. So not to brag on myself, but to say that experience came in handy. It was divine order. Shannon has been a licensed cosmetologist. She's been a master wig maker for probably 25 plus years. Shannon and I met through a mutual friend. Shannon started doing my hair on a whim, and she mentioned to me her ability to make wigs and wanting to particularly serve the community that, was dealing with hair loss, but not understanding how to be able to build insurance so that it wouldn't be a burden on that individual. And we kind of talked about all the classes that she took, spending thousands of dollars and still not understanding, how do I get my work to be paid for by the insurance industry? So because I had that experience running nursing homes and other facilities, I'm like, oh, that's simple. This is what you need to do, and you can bill it to insurance. So once she was able to get that set up in her own individual business, we decided that this was probably something we need to package for education for other stylists and hair vintners so that they can provide this service to other individuals, because it's a lot of people that are suffering with hair loss, not just women, not just individuals who are going through chemo and radiation, but it's people, even kids she services now that are suffering with alopecia and other diseases that cause hair loss as young as maybe 3 and 4 years old. So the more people we can educate and get them equipped to be able to navigate the insurance industry and truly provide a service that's not a burden out of pocket cost wise, we're truly providing a service to really benefit them to address their hair loss. So that's in just kind of how we got started.
That's really interesting. So with your background, you were able to I'm just putting it all together because it was a lot, but with your background in the medical industry, you were able to tell her how she could be able to be billed. So it's about the billing then. That's like the biggest thing.
Insurance is insurance across the board. And that's what a lot of stylists that we've encountered, and even herself when she was trying to find classes to teach her how to do it, insurance is insurance across the board. So when you go to the hospital, the clinic, or whatever setting, they're going to bill your insurance the same way. You either have the benefit or you don't. So it's the same process. It's either authorized or it's not. So once you understand that process for it, and once you understand what documentation is required, once you understand the whole process for billing and collection for insurance purposes, you're pretty much good to go. So we were able to take my experience working with it in other settings and put it in a cosmetology setting or a perspective, and basically marry the two industries and make it work. So we're able to provide a service to individuals who, again, are suffering hair loss, but we're able to work with either their dermatologist, or if they're going through chemo, whoever is treating them for the chemo, and get the necessary documentation that they need presented to their insurance, and have the insurance look at it and say, okay, this is justifiable. We understand why you're having the hair loss. And then they reimburse them for the cost of the wig, or they cover the cost of the wig up front.
Oh, wow.
So let me say this. That Charlotte number that you have, baby, I'm going to need one of them.
We got you. We have you. We got you.
Fancy, I'm gonna show it to you, girl. I'm gonna send you the picture. And Tamara has the attitude to go with it, okay? And you would think it's her hair. So it's not no flimsy looking wig. It's really good. It looks really good quality. And if I didn't know no better, I really would have thought that it was your hair.
So that's what we wanted to do, because even, growing up and even going to the hair store, y'all know that people who have illnesses that cause hair loss, the wigs that they would wear, and not poking fun at it at all, it would be obvious that something was wrong because of the way the wig looked. So one of the things that I always admired about Shannon's work was that she wanted to give the individual, be it male, female, or even a child, she wanted to give them something that where it looked like their natural hair. So she wanted them to have a natural hairline. She wanted to study their pictures before the hair loss so that whatever she created for them looked like what they looked like before the hair loss, or it embodied, what they wish like, what they wanted to look like even after the fact. So that's what I appreciate about her work even now, because we want to give them something that doesn't look like what you would order out of a catalog, because body image is real. And so when you're dealing with, issues that already are attacking your physical health, your hair and the loss of it, that affects you mentally as well. So individuals with hair loss, they're going through depression, anxiety, they're even sometimes socially withdrawn. So if we can do even as little as adding to you by allowing you to have a customized wig that makes you feel comfortable with going in public, then we want to do that. And we want to do it in a way that makes you feel comfortable where it's undetectable. So that's super important to us.
Wow. So about how long does it take for her to complete a wig?
So it really varies. We do have what's called in-stock wigs where they're already pre-made for you. And we just adjust the measurements based on whatever your needs are. And then we have custom pieces that we construct from scratch. So we customize the color, the cut for you. Those tend to take a little longer, up to 3 weeks. The biggest piece is getting the approval from your individual insurance. So once we go through the preliminary process with the insurance, make sure you have the appropriate documentation from the medical doctor, make sure that the insurance gives us the clearance on the front end. Then we can get into the actual wig making. How we set ourselves apart with the services that we provide to individual clients, and even with the courses that we teach to other stylists and to other hair vendors. We want to provide a service that's not a burden on the individual. Because think about it, if you're dealing with cancer, you may already be at a financial deficit. You may not be able to work. So charging you $4,000 for a wig is a disservice. It's addressing your hair loss, but it's causing an additional strain on you. So we like to get through the insurance hurdle first and make sure that it's covered, or make sure that you understand upfront if there's a copay, what that would look like, and if there are other, resources that are available that will cover that for you. And then we customize and say, this is what, based on what the insurance will cover, this is what we can construct for you that's within that budget for you. So we like to do the financial side first, and then say, this is what falls within that budget for you, so that it's not an unnecessary burden on that individual.
I absolutely love it, because I remember when my aunt had cancer, and at first she didn't want to go out the door without a hat on. But then, because of her personality, she's like me. She was like, I'm just going to go here. But, a lot of people don't realize that it takes so much courage to go outside with a bald head, especially as a woman. And I know women, who suffer hair loss. And it's really, really, really hard, especially when you don't have the pieces. So I think this is such a commendable thing that you guys are doing, because do you do before and after pictures, like, have them do a catwalk, all of that? Tell me how.
We do offer that service. So once you transition into medical wigs, so just kind of let me back up. What differentiates a medical wig from a cosmetic wig is that there's a barrier that's inside of it that kind of acts as an adhesion to the scalp. So the medical wig can be worn without a glue. We do have products that we sell, and I'll kind of show those towards the end, that help secure the wig in place, but you don't require glue for it, because again, they may have other issues, especially with individuals with alopecia. The scalp is already sensitive, so you don't want to put adhesive on top of that, because it may further irritate the scalp. So there's a barrier placed inside of it that'll help grip the wig to the scalp, and it'll cut down on the sweating, so there's no itching and no irritation to the scalp. So that's what kind of differentiates that medical wig from the actual cosmetic wig. But then once we construct that medical wig, and then we kind of make it customized to you, moving forward, we offer the laundering services. So we have some clients that come in every 2 to 3 weeks, and they swap out wigs, so we can freshen up one particular wig and put a different wig on them. That's a service that we provide as well. And then we just try to make sure that they feel comfortable with the application, the self-installs. So they should not always have to come to a salon to have the wig installed. So one of the things that Shannon prides herself on is showing them, how to do the self-install. You can take the medical wig off every night. So it's not like a lace front where you got to keep it on for 3 and 4 weeks and it's lace rolling up and glue. We don't do that. That's not our ministry. Right. You can take it off and on at your leisure, per your comfort. And again, we do have like a melt spray to help melt the lace in place if that's what you want to do, but it's not required. So we try to make it as comfortable as possible. But we also try to make it to whereas if the individual wants to self-install, they have that option as well. But one of the things we see with individuals coming in to do fittings is that, they're super self-conscious. So we try to make sure that, we offer them privacy for a fitting, and even when they come for an install. So with the before and after pictures, it's really because now you're dealing with medical. So we have to deal with confidentiality and privacy. So we have to have their consent to share anything. So even on social media, if we share something, we have their express written and verbal consent to share their photos. So if you follow our Instagram page, Legit Medical Wig Provider, you'll see some pictures on there. And those are individuals who've given us the consent. But most of the time, what I see is that they're okay with the after, they're not quite okay with the before. And we respect that because it's a journey. Because a lot of times the before is not just about the bald head or the missing hair, it's about the sickness that caused it or the disease that caused it. And a lot of people aren't necessarily ready to face that. So right. Nursing background wise, I was able to incorporate that in the education to other stylists that we teach how to do this to, and then also to kind of just shed light on that to Shannon. Whereas it's not that they're ashamed of your work or don't want to show where they came from, is that they're still dealing with that whole, I got to get over this, what caused this in the first place. And so I may not be ready to see pictures of myself that way. So it's kind of hard to always post the before and afters, but we do that whole process for them. The install comes with a full makeover. Shannon does makeup as well for them. And so we try to make it be a whole process for them. When they come in for fitting, if they come in person, while they're waiting for the wig to be constructed, she'll do scarf tying sessions with them, brow filling sessions with them, so that if they do have to venture out in the interim until the wig is constructed, they can feel confident going to doctor's appointments. A brow and a lash and a lip goes a long way for everybody.
Listen.
You don't want to say this on the podcast. So up, okay? A lash and a brow and a lip goes a long way for everybody. So she shows that in the interim too, just to make sure that, they feel comfortable to a certain extent if they do have to go out until that wig is ultimately completed for them. So we try to make sure we address every aspect of it, not just the final looking good, but how do you maintain in the in-between phases as well? Because we want holistically to make sure that we're, kind of addressing as much as we can for them.
Okay.
So when you said that you all launder them and then they can swap out the wig, so the insurance, if you can say, when the insurance pays, it allows for them to have multiple, I guess you say, units.
It depends. Some insurances do. Some will pay for one initial unit and a replacement unit annually. So it depends on their benefits. Some individuals choose to buy a replacement unit out of place as well. And then some of them use, they'll pick what's called the in-stock unit. So they'll get a less expensive one that's already in stock and swap that out while we launder, their primary unit. But we do that to sanitize it and then just to kind of freshen it up, recustomize the hairline through the process called ventilation, where Shannon actually hand picks the hairline and adds hair to the hairline just to freshen it up for them. So we do that for them just to make sure that it always looks fresh for them.
Okay. I was just to go back, I was asking about the before and after. I do volunteer work for Dress for Success, and it's amazing, just for something that we just take for granted. I feel a lot of times something so small, it just gives people confidence. That's why I had asked about that.
Yeah. Image is real. That's a real issue. I mean, that's actually a whole nursing diagnosis. That's actually truly in a dilemma. A lot of people will not, they cannot come forward because of how a disease affects their body image, how they see themselves. So you can't ignore that, how it actually impacts an individual. You have to address the impact that it has on them.
Right. So tell us the services you provided. I feel like you've given us some of them, but can you just go down the list of everything pretty much that you guys do?
Okay.
And show us the products you got?
I sure will. So what we do individually for clients who are experiencing hair loss, and so that's, females, males, and then children as well. We actually do medical grade units for them and can bill them to their insurance. And then moving on, we also offer a course in person and in online where we teach cosmetologists, wig makers, and hair vendors how to actually provide this service and then bill it to insurance. So that's our course, Becoming a Legitimate Medical Wig Provider. We actually were blessed with the opportunity to present it at Bronner Brothers this year in Miami, which was amazing. It was like standing room only. So that was truly a success. So we teach that course, and then we also provide basically all the services that they would need to get started to bill insurance. So everything I did for Shannon in the beginning to get her started. So setting her up with billing credentials, getting her enrolled in insurances so that she can actually bill them for services. We have a preferred vendor network. So if a stylist or a hair vendor needed assistance with billing their website or building relationships with medical doctors in their areas for referrals, we can help them with that as well. If they need hair vendors, we have relationships with them as well. So what we try to do is be a full service provider, whether you're a client or if you're a stylist that wants to actually provide this service as well. We offer a variety of services. We actually also have for hair vendors, or if you're a wig maker and you already make your own wigs, but you just need to install the medical pieces as well so that you can resell them, you can ship them to us and we'll install the medical grade pieces for you. And so that can take maybe a $300 or $400 wig. And once the medical grade barrier is installed, depending on the construction of the wig, that can increase the price of that wig, the value of that wig, to maybe close to $2,000. So we provide that service as well. So a lot of things we do, but basically what we want to do is equip people so that they can provide the service. It's not just about we're the only ones who do it legitimately. There's such a great need for people who need to address hair loss. So we figure the more people we can equip with the skills and the knowledge to know how to navigate insurance and provide the services, the better. So that's what we want to be able to do.
Definitely. You said you had some products maybe near.
We do. So it was really important for us to not just stick to adhesive because again, with sensitive scalps, it doesn't work with everybody. So we do have a melt spray, and all of this is. Oops, let me see.
Put it in front
All
of
this is available on our Square store and on our Instagram page. So this is the Legit Lace Melt Spray. It basically melts the lace in place. This works just like an adhesive, where most of the individuals who wear this can probably wear the wig in place for about 3 to 4 days without having to put on any additional coating of it. We also have a skin protector as well that we use in combination with the melt spray to make sure that it protects that skin as a barrier when you put the melt spray on. And then for those who want that extra hold, we have the actual adhesive as well.
Okay.
Shannon.
How y'all doing?
Hey,
How
Oh,
good.
I'm
awesome?
sorry, y'all in the same location?
No.
Oh, because we were getting some feedback, so I was muting you, thinking when she's talking, okay. But do y'all hear the feedback? Is it
I
just
hear
me?
it.
Okay, I don't know what's happening then.
Is it on my phone?
Yes.
It is. Okay, let's see. Hold on.
You have an earbud?
Yeah, let me see. Do I don't think I have an earbud for this phone. Do I have an earbud for this phone?
It's
Maybe,
what?
maybe
Wait.
I should get on my other phone. Let me see.
Okay. Do you want me to bring you back in just a minute?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so do you guys provide wigs for those who may not need it medically? Do you still?
So this is the thing. This is my hair, and I'm not saying that again to make light of any condition that causes hair loss.
Right.
I've worn the cosmetic wigs before, and then when Shannon really launched into constructing the medical pieces, in comparison, the cosmetic wigs truly irritate my scalp once my hair is braided down. Because I don't have a condition that causes hair loss, of course, no insurance would pay for it for me. I opt for the medical wig because that barrier helps decrease the irritation. The same wigs that we offer with the medical barrier are also available without it. But most people who are like me, who've gone to Shannon for years, if they had a choice between the two, they opt for that medical grade barrier because with the itching and the hair shedding and just the irritation, even around the hairline, is significantly decreased or it's not at all because that barrier just really helps to really protect your hairline and your scalp from the actual hair and the netting of the wig. So is it available? Yes, always. But once you try it, you probably won't want to go back. I'm going to say that.
Um,
You probably won't want to go, but so every wig that I wear has a medical barrier in it, and that's just because even when I would wear lace fronts, I would notice around my hairline, I would always be irritated, and I would scratch so much that I would cause thinning because I'm always constantly scratching. Whereas when we started transitioning to the medical grade pieces, to me it was worth that investment because it was like I could wear it longer and I didn't have the irritation. But yes, the option is still definitely there.
I tried once to wear a sew-in and it irritated my soul. And I
Mm.
was like, I'm not gonna be able to do this, but I'm not a wig wearer, so I don't know how to pick no wigs. Welcome to the show, Shannon.
Hi, is this better, guys?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Sorry, it would be me with the background.
It's okay. It's okay. We've been talking to Dr. T White.
Oh,
Stop.
wow.
We go way back. I gotta do that.
Okay.
So Shannon, Tamara told us about herself and she told us a little bit about you. Did you want to add anything about your background?
Basically, I've been in the industry. I've been customizing wigs for about 17 plus years. Um, and always have worked with women with hair loss issues and Susan G. Komen cancer patients, but never could connect the dots. And Tamara kind of enlighten you guys on that. Never could connect the dots of how I could successfully build an insurance company for these services. No one would ever let me in. Happened to be talking to Tamara one day. She was getting color, and of course, the rest is history. So it's just such an amazing journey to be able to help women. I heard you guys talking about if we service women without medical issues. The wigs we have, cosmetic wigs, we have the medical wigs, medical grade barrier. A lot of women call, but do you do just regular wigs? I will wear a medical wig any day. The fit is, they say it's like second skin. Honestly, it's like second skin. We don't have any combs, any elastic bands. I know you guys saw the interview with the young lady just sitting there talking and the wig just slid off of her head. That's all.
Foolish. And I'm gonna send her a bottle of the melt spray because that should have never happened. That should never happened.
Never.
Oh my God.
So what they're doing is, I had a client ask me today, so do you guys customize or is it universal? I'm like, okay, universal is like I can bring my remote from your house and use it at your house. That's not what we do. We customize all of our wigs. We measure your head. If you wear a wig and I customize a wig for you, and then you in turn let Tamara wear it, and Tamara head is bigger than yours, then it's no longer custom for you. It's like a pair of pantyhose. Once it stretches out, that's it. So we just definitely want to target all women dealing with hair loss issues, whether it's from cancer or alopecia, or you just want a different look. This is definitely the way to go with our custom wigs.
So I'm curious, as far as from like the client's experience. So especially because I understand, like, for women who may have medical conditions like cancer and things along the lines of that, but I've kind of heard before in the past, I think just in passing, that alopecia would be considered, to, I guess, go under the insurances. And you would all have also mentioned it, but what is it? I mean, do you just go to the dermatologist then, like, if you have alopecia?
So you can, your primary care doctor or dermatologist can write basically the prescription or the doctor's order for it, saying the alopecia, or giving you the formal diagnosis of alopecia, and then provide supporting documentation. So basically a progress note, and I'm giving y'all a free game that I give in the class. Documentation that would justify that you do have this condition and it is attributing to hair loss and it is not expected to resolve on its own. And so then that would support the need for the medical wig. Insurance is pretty simple. Insurance will address a need, but they want to do it in the least expensive way. So if I'm going to treat hair loss, I want to treat it in the least expensive way. So honestly, when I look at all the treatments that are out there, most of the things like the hair restorative surgery and the laser treatments, those are tens of thousands of dollars. Wigs may be $4,000 and $5,000, but it's cheaper in comparison to those surgeries and the injections. So I'm going to address it in the least expensive manner. So going to your provider and having them to write that order for you will justify the need for it. And insurance will typically move forward with it as long as you have the appropriate supporting documentation. But it doesn't have to come from it doesn't have to come from a dermatologist. It can come from your primary provider as well. So as long as they can document whatever is causing the hair loss and you have supporting documentation to show this is what's truly causing it, and we don't anticipate it resolving anytime soon. And it's not just alopecia and cancer. We have individuals who've had transplant surgeries, and some of the medicines that they're on suppress their immune system, and they're going to be on this medication for the rest of their lives so that their body doesn't reject the liver or the heart or whatever it may be. It may cause alopecia. Mm-hmm. That's justified as long as the documentation shows that. So we kind of work with that individual and have relationships with provider offices as well, so that we're not waiting on the client to experience hair loss to the extent that they're completely bald. Most provider offices initiate it because they anticipate it being an issue. So as soon as we notice the hair loss, because Shannon has such a good relationship with so many of them, they'll send the referral directly to us and we can get the ball rolling that way.
Wow. Rapport is everything.
Very much so. Very much.
Everything. I agree. Yes.
Everything. So Shannon, what made you say, you know what, I want to start helping people with the medical condition? Because you could have easily been like, I'm gonna do these cosmetic wigs and I'm good. What made you say, you know what, let me start doing these medical wigs, let me help folks?
So As you said that, Tamara, tell you, I'm a crier. I cry for anything. I'm getting
Don't start
Please
warm.
crying on
don't.
here.
Please.
I'm getting warm inside as you ask that. Let me tell you something. I have always been the type of person that wanted to help people. I have always been the type of person that want to see people look and feel beautiful. Always. Whether I've done so many free services to whereas I can't even count them because it's just in my heart to help people. Um, I can't stress it enough. One of the things that I have an issue with seeing a woman or a child, because I also service, we also make medical wigs for children. The youngest has, I think, is 6 tomorrow, like 6 years old. So just to see a person in a crowd and be able to say something is wrong with them, okay, I can tell either they're dealing with cancer or alopecia, no eyebrows. I always pass my card and just say, here, give me a call. Let me show you how to fill in your brows. Let me show you how to, let me show you some custom wigs. So I've always been one to want to help. And I know it was such of a need in the medical field because we always have these women going to these Caucasian wig stores and you see these wigs, sitting up this high, and instantly you could say, oh, something must be wrong with her.
With the headband on it, because that's my pet
With
peeve.
the head, with
Headband or the
You
hat
like
on it.
the headband wig?
I don't, and I don't like the hat wig.
uh-uh,
I don't.
no,
I
no,
don't.
no.
That's my.
I wear the headband. Girl. Okay, finish it.
Yeah. No ma'am.
I'm gonna stick to my
No
short.
ma'am.
Go ahead.
so, so we just, I just always, wanted to help. Like I said, the youngest patient was 6 years old. Kids were teasing her at school. Believe it or not, hereditary alopecia in her family. It attacked her at the age of 6. So that kind of stuff is just, it has always, I've always wanted to help, always. And I get such of a, Tamara and I both, we get such of a joy out of being able to provide these services and for people to, customers and patients to be able to go to their doctor's appointments. And I had a patient that went, her doctor was out, she saw another doctor, and the doctor was like, okay, well, how do you have the type of cancer you have and still have a head full of hair? The doctor didn't even realize it was a wig. So our job is done. When we
Right.
get that, yeah, it's like, okay, our mission is definitely complete.
I love it. I love
Yeah,
just a heart for people. Is and then you have to have bedside manner.
absolutely.
As Samara did say, you have to just know how to talk and how to calm them down and different things. I think what you guys are doing is just amazing.
Thank you.
Because
Yeah.
I could think of my niece when I had to cut off her locks. You know, I had to cut off her locks and I cut my hair. I cut off all my hair when I had to cut off her locks because she had alopecia.
Hmm.
And Sharona's the one who did it. Sharona went to 35 too.
Mm-hmm.
Our audiences knows about Sharona on here. But I literally cut off my hair because my niece had to cut off her hair just to show her that she was still beautiful, even though we had to cut off her hair. Even
Hmm.
though it was coming off. So I totally get that part, because
Hmm.
everybody, because then she was with her mom and they was putting wigs on, and she was like in the 4th grade wearing these wigs, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But and braids and different things just to cover it up. So
Yeah.
is there Fancy, did you have anything else you wanted to ask?
Well, I just want to say that, I think that what you all are doing is really great because I know a lot of the women in my family have alopecia. And just that's kind of what prompted me to ask my question in particular, because I know that it's something that they've dealt with since really young ages, and how it has impacted their self-confidence, just their self-esteem. Most of the women they're not going to go out without something on their head. So I know the impact of it. So I think that's why what you're doing is so beautiful, because people oftentimes just say, oh, it's just hair,
Mm.
but it's so much more than that, you know.
It is. That's your crown. I mean, that's
Mhm.
Bible. That's your crown. But I mean, I think at the end of the day, for us, it's not putting it into categories. Oh, your hair loss is related to cancer, so yours is justified, whereas yours is alopecia.
Right.
It's not. It's hair loss, and it impacts everybody. So it doesn't matter the root cause of it. It still impacts you. So we make sure that the services that we provide, we give them that individualized treatment across the board because it still impacts you. I don't care what caused it, it still impacts you. So we want to make sure that whatever services we provide them, you feel good about it after you leave out of that chair, after you open that box and you see that wig and you self-install. You need to feel confident with it, regardless of the cause of the hair loss, whether it's going to resolve or whether you're going to live with that condition. We want to give you an option to feel confident and give you an alternative. So that's super important to us.
Mhm.
Well, I wanted to because I seen it on your page tomorrow, and I was like, "This is so dope!" Like, I just thought it was so dope. So we definitely wanted to bring y'all on, and because it's so many people need to. A lot of people don't know that you guys are doing this. So I hope that I see Brandy on here. Brandy is a nurse practitioner.
Hey,
So
Brandy.
maybe
Hi,
she's
Brandy.
the St. Mary's.
Okay.
She has a cosmetic line too. So Shannon, you might want to get with her on some of that makeup, girl.
Oh yeah, let's go, Brandy.
I can do something together. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
so maybe she can pass it along to some folks and just other people on there that
Hey,
go
Brandy.
I love Brandy.
Yeah, it's
hi,
not
Brandy.
it's not just limited to licensed cosmetologists. Not every state requires you to have a license to make wigs. Let me give that disclosure as well. If they want to follow us on legit_medical wig provider on Instagram. And we also have a group on Facebook. That's the link there for the teachable course as well. We have digital downloads. So if you need step-by-step on how to get started, if you are a wig maker, a cosmetologist, and lately we've been getting a lot of traction from advanced practice nurses, particularly nurse practitioners who own med spas. That is the perfect way to tap into the insurance industry because med spa is a cash-driven industry. However, if you're offering a service that can be billed to insurance, I assure you they're gonna want every kind of other service. You don't want to get your medical wig and not get everything else done. Okay.
Listen.
So, we're finding other ways to be able to provide this service and reach in a greater audience in so many words. So definitely room for growth because there's so many people that need this information and need to be able to provide this service. It's only so many wigs me and Shannon can make, okay?
Listen.
And for the culture, you want a wig that looks like your culture. So,
Absolutely.
individuals with locks or with braids or with 4C hair,
Oh, you do locks?
you can do, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Come on, Shannon.
Yeah. Definitely.
Wait, Tamara, you be helping her?
Girl, in my own little way.
In her own, yeah.
You heard her say in the beginning, she
That's-
on the more on the business side.
Let you do
In
the
my
business.
own little way.
Uh-huh.
Look, in my own
Listen,
little way.
you have to know your lane. That's how being fast is. You have to know your lane, honey. No
Insurance, negotiating, the business side, that's me. But I will help her if I need to in that way. But I think it's for us, it was so important for this to get to where it is now, knowing how to marry industries. Because she wouldn't have gotten it as far as she would have just sticking with cosmetology because it was the medical piece that was missing. And then even with my background in nursing and understanding the insurance side, I don't know how to make nobody wig nothing. So I needed that side of it as well. So understanding when it's important to kind of cross over industries and bring it together, that's what makes it be what it is. That's what makes it the legitimate medical wig provider. So we pride ourselves on being that power collab because it's like the best of both worlds. It honestly doesn't get any better than that.
I'm gonna take Tamara's picture off her page so y'all can see, and I'm gonna post it on the website.
That's a wig. That's a wig.
It was a wig, like it was a Charlotte number. I was like, oh, that is sexy.
That's a wig. That's a wig.
Okay, then, friend. I see you.
That's a wig. So all the nurse practitioners on here, that's a wig. Yeah. That's a wig. That's definitely a wig. All the nurse practitioners that's on here, that's looking, how do I expand? How do I grow? That's it right there. And you can buy your ready-made wigs with the medical grade unit already. And because you're advanced practice and depending on what state you're in, I'm about to give you free game as a nurse executive. You can bill them to insurance, just not bill the installation fee, but you can bill because you provided it as durable medical equipment. So there you go.
So
we appreciate you all for dropping all these gems. We try to make certain that the podcast, that we're really giving information, and you all have definitely done that tonight. So hopefully we get a lot of more views. Typically the views also come throughout the week, but I'm just saying, I think this might be when people are going to be doing replays and just sitting back and really listening to what you're saying and taking notes. So I know I took my notes. So
awesome.
We pride ourselves on talking about stuff that other people ain't talking about.
Right.
So it's legit LEGIT _medical wig provider on IG. Oh, she was asking for it. I didn't even see that.
There you go. And then if they're on Facebook, we actually have a group. It is open where we have a bunch of live webinars for individuals who want to actually provide the service. Where we've interviewed billing companies that do the billing on your behalf. We've talked about how to get started in the insurance industry. It's a wealth of information for those who want to actually provide the service. And the name of the group is Becoming a Legitimate Medical Wig Provider. And so it's literally free game. So instead of paying tens of thousands of dollars for a class where you're still not going to leave out of their billing insurance. And Shannon's story is literally, I had color in my hair under the dryer, and she was like, I want to bill insurance. And I was like, okay. And she was like, I'm tired of paying money. And I was like, do you have billing credentials? And she was like, what's that? I was like, don't you spend out another dollar with nobody. And when my hair was done, she had billing credentials. Literally. But again, you have to know what you need. That literally that fast. And I'm not bragging, I'm not being funny, but it's like you need to know what you have to do to move forward. And I was like, okay, now you could bill insurance. So now let's get you set up the right way, because you're not gonna do it on your own. You're gonna operate like a medical provider's office was, so people could take you seriously. And that's how doctors' offices and hospital systems take what we do seriously. They refer to these services directly. So for those who want to really get started in the industry, that group is specific to them, because it really shows you how to navigate working with providers and working with insurances. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That is cute.
That's my favorite one.
Baby, I said, this is my pose.
That's the wig, y'all. That's the wig, y'all.
Like, if she don't look sexy, I was trying to find a picture of the whole wig because I thought I seen one. A picture of,
I think it's on there, probably further down. It's definitely on there.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go find it. Thank you guys again for coming on to talk about this. If there's anything we can do to help push the platform or whatever, just let us know. We're always here. Like I said, we always want to talk about things that other people ain't talking about. That other people, and sometimes I ain't gonna front. Some people come on here and then they blow up right after us. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna receive that, because about 4 different people have prophesied or spoken over us this year that this was literally $1 million concept. And I was
it definitely is.
That for real.
I haven't heard of it, but I'm just saying, and not to toot our own horn, but it's so funny. Well, you seen the commercial, you seen a couple of people on there that's doing big things, and it's like, okay, so hey, because we want to put you in front of people, so that's all I'm saying. Thank you, ladies.
We appreciate that.
Thank y'all. Happy birthday, Fancy. Thank you, Anya. Thank y'all so much.
And look, I was looking down because I was trying to pin the comments. Like, I think it's Kiana. She was still asking some questions about the Facebook page and stuff, so I was trying to pin that for her. But thank you all.
Thank you, Sassy. Thank you, Kiana.
It was so nice to be on here. Yep. And go follow us. And we're very active on social media. So we would love to interact with y'all. Becoming a Legitimate Medical Wig Provider is the Facebook page. And then Instagram is legit_medical wig provider on Instagram. If y'all saw the flyer for the podcast, we're all tagged in that. Just follow us on there and we'll definitely follow back.
Kiana, we'll put it in the Mia Fancy, I'll put it in the comments for you, baby.
Yeah, I'm putting it in there now.
Okay. All right, ladies.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Y'all have a good night. Thank y'all.
Y'all have a good one. Okay. Bye-bye.
Baby, when I seen Tamara with that wig, I was like, because I know she had long hair. And when I seen, I was like, that looks amazing. That looks amazing. I need me a wig. It's just, I don't know. You know, I change my hair every other day. Me and
I
my
can't.
beautician was talking about that today.
I can't do the like the way she's talking about them with the medical ones with that band. That sounds more ideal because I just get mad at Dylan when she get hers put on, like, and then start doing all that patting and stuff. Like, I'll
Right.
be ready to throw her out the house or wherever we at. Like that really be getting to me. So I know if I can't stand watching her do that, I know I can't deal with it myself. You know.
But that's the biggest thing. I think that's the game changer. The fact that you don't have to do all that padding. You don't have to do all that padding and all that. And they will, I dare say, these are black women. Black women with knowledge. They have a background in this. You know what I'm saying? They're not just out here talking about, oh, let me. No. And then the beauty of it is they're willing to teach you
Yeah.
how to do it. And she said they do locks, 4C hair. Like that's game changing. That's game changing on so many levels. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess it's my time to tell y'all about me. Okay. So if you're looking for me, I am Lady CEO. It's gonna be Lady CEO spell lady spell with the I.com is my email. It's my website. Why did I start yawning? That is not cute. That is not
You're
Jesus.
making me yawn just that fast.
Sorry. My email is Anya, ARNYA at ladyceo.com. And I ain't gonna even mention Clubhouse because I ain't been on there. So yeah, fancy.
Okay. So you guys can find me at everything Swagger Magazine is Swagger Magazine. And then for me, all of my socials are Fancy Swagger. And my link tree is Fancy Thoughts. And if you're not following me on Instagram, I encourage you all to follow me as well as follow the Theories and Thoughts Instagram as well. And this is it right here. So you guys can follow that. This Theories and Thoughts brand. Okay. That's it.
That's it. I don't know why I started yawning.
Okay. All right. Well, peace and blessings, y'all. Have a good week.